In this lesson, I'm going to explain what your child will have covered in the 7 lessons on addition, and which aspects you should particularly look out for. In the first lesson, the child learns to add up in columns, always starting with the right-hand column, the units, then moving to the left to do the tens column. It's important that they're completely used to this idea of starting with the units on the right, in a sense working backwards, before they go on to the next lesson. In the next 3 lessons, we introduce carrying. The important thing here is for the child to put the carry in exactly the right place, so they will be able to manage when they come to set them out for themselves. By the end of the lesson 3-digit addition, they should be able to do a sum like this. Starting with the units column, 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 6 is 21. I carry the 2 and put down the 1. Now the tens column. 4 plus 0 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus the 2 that I carried is 9, so I put down the 9. Now the hundreds column. 6 plus 7 is 13, plus 8 is 21. There are no more columns to carry to, so I put down the 21, and the answer is 2,191. In setting out additions, you need to check that they really have set it out neatly, all in line. If it's all a lopsided mess, the whole thing will go horribly wrong, so it's good to get in the habit of setting them out clearly and correctly right from the start. The other thing to watch out for when setting out additions is that the numbers are in the correct columns, especially when you get a question like this. Because the second number only has 2 digits, the child might get confused and set it out like this, instead of like this. If they're finding this difficult, encourage them to write the column headings, units, tens, hundreds, and check that the number is in the right place. 489 plus 74. The last lesson, word problems, is for many children the most difficult, although the maths is no harder. It's just all those words that get in the way and make it look difficult. There are 2 really effective things for your child to do with word problems if they're having difficulty knowing what exactly they're being asked to work out. The first thing is, imagine it in real life. Actually imagine the marbles, or sweets, or apples. What colour are they? Now imagine being given 5 more. Now imagine looking at all of them. You've got more than you started with, which should tell you that you're adding. The second thing is, ask your child to guess approximately what a likely answer might be. For example, there are 27 people on a bus. How many are there if 5 more get on? First ask them to imagine the people on the bus, then imagine more people getting on. Then ask them, will there be more than 27 altogether, or less than 27? Or ask them, will there be about 300 or about 30? This will help them to suggest a likely answer and clarify for them what they actually need to work out. It may seem so obvious to us as adults, but be patient if your child is confused at first. It's really common to find this difficult. With practice they'll get better and more confident that they can understand it. When they have decided what to do, encourage them to write their thought in numbers. This is good practice for later when they need to show workings as the problems get more complicated. So for the bus question, they should write 27 plus 5. The correct answer is 32 people, not just 32. Writing what you're talking about is a good habit to get into now and helps later on when they need to be accurate about whether it's centimetres squared or millimetres cubed, etc. Also, it helps to make sure they've read the question properly. If you look at the perfect example answers to the worksheets, you can not only mark your child's work, but more importantly, check that they've gone about it in the right way, setting out the sums correctly and doing the right workings. Children like to get things right, so wait until they're managing this section easily and happily before they move on to subtraction.